Just when the chapter on MBI, or Mobility Beyond Imagination, was about to be reduced to an entry in a fictional book titled Malaysia's Most Audacious Investment Scams, the investigation into one of the country's longest-running Ponzi schemes has suddenly come back to life. Run by a man some have called Jolo 2.0. Never heard of him? Well, let me break it down for you. In March this year, Bukit Aman reopened the money trail of MBI, which was founded by Teddy Teo. Teddy, a businessman from Penang, built his empire back in 2012 around a get-rich-quick scheme, disguised as a digital coin platform. The pyramid scheme was called MFC, which Teddy masqueraded as a platform for the M-coin. Investors, mostly from Malaysia, China, and Taiwan, were told that they could double or even triple their money within months. By 2016, the hype was global. Cruise ships from China would ferry tourists to M Mall in Penang, where everything from jewelry to hotel stays could be paid for using M-coins. Teddy got away with it too, for years, until 2018 when a multi-agency raid led by Banegara caused it all to collapse. Teddy fled to Thailand, continued to run things out of Danok before his arrest in 2022, followed by his extradition to China 2 years later, because the majority of investors that he had swindled were from there. So, the end, right? Not quite. So, why did the Malaysian police reopen the money trail? Because they discovered that MBI's money had seeped into Penang's property sector, most notably the 10 billion ringgit Penang World City project in Bayan Mutiara. The development, once a JV between the now delisted Ivory Properties Group and property mainstay Tropicana Corp, was eventually taken over by a firm called Hematua, coincidentally owned by Teddy's brother and brother-in-law. In May, 3 officers from the police anti-money laundering unit were appointed to Hematua's board, effectively freezing corporate control while investigators got to work, unraveling the web of funding sources. Since then, the arrests have intensified. In July and August, several corporate figures, including a number of businessmen with the titles Datuk and Datuk Sri, were detained, and assets worth 6.6 billion ringgit were seized. Authorities are now looking into what could be a bigger bombshell, whether MBI's funds were used to finance Penang's mega projects or were laundered through listed companies. For now, investigations are still ongoing. A mall, by the way, still exists. Shuttered, but the building itself still stands, a monument to what happens when greed takes over. Ideally, for justice to be done, all those who had lost their money would get it back, in some shape or form. But if history is any guide, money that moves through the shadows rarely finds its way back into the light.